Welcome back, YouTube. Colin here, the Wild CEO. We're going to talk today about my current supplement routine that I am following on a carnivore diet. Some I'm using more or less of than I used to, why that is, each one of these and the logic behind it, and whether I think they're necessary or whether I think they're optional or whether I think they're just a way to maintain, kind of check your bases. Each one of these is gonna have a different story to tell. Some of them I'm just testing out right now, some of these newer products actually, and some I'm gonna probably do here and there, cycle them, or just see how I feel. So again, before we get into this video and I talk to you about my routine, I want to recommend and disclaim that your routine might be different. Some of these things you might want to throttle up or down, and no matter what though, you're going to want to test for yourself. I would highly recommend getting some actual blood work done, maybe a hormone profile, maybe a food allergy test, things like that, but that's a topic for another day. These are kind of the baseline supplements that are going to be most well-researched, most well understood, and most recommended. And I'll kind of walk through how I feel about them, each one of them particularly, and then you can see if any of these might fit into your routine right now. I do prefer to get all my nutrition from food as much as possible, but unfortunately our food supply is not what it used to be. And so our soil has been depleting, our oceans are polluted, there's a lot of issues there. So I use supplements as a way to help support my lifestyle while not under any delusions that these are going to just solve all my problems and or allow me to eat a less than stellar diet. I'm still trying to keep my diet at 99.99% tip-top shape. Every time I eat out or eat something that's not exactly in my diet, I'm going to pay a health consequence there. I'm under no illusion that a supplement's going to just fix that. So again, keep that in mind as a disclaimer. These are supplements to your diet, which should be whole, real foods. That being said, let's get to it. First things first, your omega-3s. I have three products that I guess two. One's oil, one's a caps for the wild fish oil. But I have a standard wild fish oil, which is a Menhaden US sourced and processed fish oil that has DPA, DHA, and EPA. Very interesting product. One of my favorite go-tos. I've been using it for years. Of course, I'm the CEO of the company, so I might be biased, but this stuff is super premium and it's sustainable. They go out and they catch these small fatty fish. They only fish enough so that the schools can replenish. Miracle product. A lot of other fish oils are actually overfished or fished in polluted waters. It's a concern. Our manufacturer is actually vertically integrated. They own down to the fishing boats. Pretty awesome. And it's one of the only fish oils processed in the United States. The oil I prefer because you get so much more omega bang for your buck, and it's very mild. It's got a lemon flavor. It's not very fishy at all. The caps are good, but you have to take a lot of them to get the same dose. And this is better for on the go if you're out and about or if you go to a restaurant or traveling or whatever. Cod liver oil, one of, I think, the most nutrient-dense omega foods on the planet, or even just nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Cod liver is amazing. I would prefer to get it from whole cod liver, but the oil is still a good option. So this is brand is Carlson, and it's got actually also vitamin D, vitamin A, and vitamin E in it, which is a good way to get some retinol. Yeah, the vitamin A actually comes from the whole cod liver, so that's good. I try to take a little bit of this every day, and I take a little bit of this. There's a lot of research out there about omega-3, how it's good for you, how even high dose, as much as 5 to 25 grams have been tested with no adverse effects. It's one of those things that you hear a lot of people try to talk about omega-3, and even some people in the carnivore community are claiming how omega-3 might be bad for you. That's nonsense. I think what you see in that example is going too deep into the research and maybe thinking you're a bit smarter than you are and falling victim to the research biases as much as you have the people that are trying to say that meat is bad for you because they're looking at a bunch of epidemiological research. I think it's the same thing when you get into these different, very deep rabbit holes about research and you try to say that, oh, too much omega-3 can be bad for you. I mean, even if there is a study here and there, what's going on? What are the co-founding variables? What is being controlled for or not being controlled for? Like, we have to be wary of all nutrition-based research in humans because it is never all-inclusive and there are millions of variables, even billions of connections of this and that, and exponential connections of things that can affect each other. So omega-3, I've done high dose before, as much as I was doing 30 caps a day for a while. Felt great, no issues. If you are on some kind of blood thinning medication, you do want to make sure that you're going to be good on any medication. There can be some issues with the blood thinning, but even that I think is a little overblown. But again, disclaimer, consult your doctor if you're on medications, blah, blah. You just don't want to make sure there's no interactions or complications or anything. So I take my cod liver and I take my fish oil. Sometimes I mix it up day to day, or I might take a little bit each day, okay? Go to must-have primary supplements. Next up, I got vitamin D K2 and D3. I take this as a backup plan. I'm not taking this as like my primary way to get vitamin D. When I'm going outside getting sunlight, I feel my best. That is the best way for everybody. It should be the primary way for you to get vitamin D. Certain times of the year it's hard to get. Winter, we're just coming out of it. It's getting a bit more sunny, going outside more. I'm feeling better as a result. An exact difference. I did a video on this recently. I went out for a few hours. The most I've been out all winter in the sun, outside, full exposure, shirt off. I feel amazing the next day. I woke up with so much energy, the most energy I've ever had all winter. I take this on days where I'm not gonna get out for a while, just to make sure I can kind of maintain my vitamin D levels a little bit, but it's not a substitute for going outside. You just need to go outside. There's many other reasons for your health aside from vitamin D, but going outside, getting direct sunlight on your skin and in your eyes, so going without sunglasses, that's important too. Most people don't realize that. That's gonna be your best bet for getting this essential hormone that is responsible and connected to multiple processes in your body. You need to get outside. And again, these Wild Foods products, you can use code WILDCEO for 12% off your entire order over at wildfoods.co. And that also helps support the show. So thank you for that. Next up, I got digestive enzymes. Now there's some other products like lipase, hydrochloric acid. I still don't know really how I feel about these. Let's see if we can get a close up of this. Digestive enzymes. It's got some plant stuff in there. It's not technically carnivore. I don't know if I've noticed that much of a difference with this. So it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I'm trying to test it. It's got a digestive enzyme. It's got protease, amylase, lipase. So it does have some lipase in there, but it also has some probiotic in there. It's also got some papaya fruit, turmeric, apple, pectin, fennel, ginger, peppermint leaf. I think it's reasonably okay. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. This is just something I'm testing. Any day that my gut isn't really agreeing with me, or I ate too much, ate too fast, ate out, I'm usually taking one or two of these just to see if it can help. And usually when I take one, I don't feel any negative effects, but I'm also not paying attention closely to really ascertain whether it's really helping. I just don't know. So these are one of those things that I would highly recommend testing and tracking and really dialing in, because it's gonna be so dependent on you and what your body responds to, what your gut makeup is, etc. So just keep that in mind. Oil of oregano. Now, you can definitely take too much of this. I take this here and there to help support the gut. I don't remember all the exact mechanisms for it, but I do. I've heard some good things about it. I take it here and there. There's a couple times where I took it probably too often and I felt some kind of acid in my throat. I probably overdid it. So keep that in mind. This can also interact with certain medications, so you want to keep that in mind. I would be curious to hear more of the in-depth research around this product and what the benefits are, but it's oil, it's from oregano. It just feels like it does something. Like it feels good. I feel like I'm doing something when I take this. That's not scientific, I know, but take it for what it is. All right, now anytime I'm eating out or eating anything of suspect, of quality, I'm gonna take some wild coal. 100% activated charcoal from organic coconut shells. And this is also great because it helps farmers monetize what used to be a waste product. They burn down the coconut husks when they're making something like coconut milk or oil, for example, and they used to not be able to do anything with it, but this product is made by burning it down, so that's really cool. It also helps bind to toxins in your gut, and I've noticed for sure that when you eat something not great, it helps you get over it faster. And the idea is that it kind of goes in there, binds to the toxins, help pass them through so that your body doesn't absorb them, so that it doesn't absorb into your fat cells, so that your body just kind of gets hit with less damage. Some people might try to debate that. I do know that if you go to the hospital and you overdose on poison, they pump your stomach full of charcoal. It definitely has that effect. Long time ago when I was drinking alcohol, I had to drink tequila and lime and soda water. Rarely ever drink, so it usually hits me pretty hard. I took one drink. I took 2 capsules before. I didn't feel anything. Anytime I'm eating out, cheating, eating sugar, sweeteners, or if my gut is kind of not feeling great because I overate or ate too fast or whatever, which I'm wont to do at times, I will take 1 or 2 of these as well. So you can also find that at wildfoods.co. Next up is a vitamin D3. It's a liquid version from Now. This is one of those things that I don't know. The quality is all over the place when it comes to supplements like this. So I'm really not sure how I feel about these. Now's been around for a long time. They have very solid testing and COA analysis, and like they do things probably right for the most part. And this is actually leaking all over me. And what I do is I put this in the morning in my water, a little bit here and there with the next one I'm about to talk about, the iodine. And I just kind of take a little bit just to make sure that if I can get a little bit of benefit from it, then I'm gonna get it, just to help support, but it's not a replacement for going out in the sun. So this is something I've been taking recently. It's an iodine. I don't remember who turned me on to it. I might have been some YouTube videos. I was watching that were kind of mentioning iodine deficiency is very common, and that even if you're eating a primarily carnivore diet or a 100% carnivore diet, that you might be lacking in iodine. I also heard somebody talk about the mention between it being connected to cold feet and hands, which I have struggled with in the past. I was like, all right, well, let me take it. I felt really good lately. I've been taking this somewhat consistently. Also, I'm taking magnesium, which I'm gonna talk to you about in a second. And I don't really know which one is doing it, but a combination of those two, taking a little bit of this every day, I feel great. It might be something to look into. There's a lot of variables with this, with pregnant, breastfeeding, on medications, whatever. So keep that in mind. I watched a video by Dr. Ken Berry on this, and he talked about, I think 1 to 3 milligrams a day as a recommended dose. Iodine, it's estimated that about 20% of the population is deficient. There's a lot of issues with iodine deficiency, and it's connected to a lot of things in the body. So again, it's one of those things that you might want to just add it to your diet here and there, just to make sure you're not going too low in any one area or going too low in your iodine levels. And you'll be able to find links to everything below in the show notes. This is a new product that I just tried. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. It's a 0-calorie electrolyte concentrate with magnesium, chloride, sodium, potassium, zinc, all from sea minerals. ZMA is something I've been taking for years. It's zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. And I think it's B6. Don't quote me on that. I've always noticed I sleep better when I take it. I think zinc is something that is super integral to health. I don't really know where else I would get it. I don't know off the top of my head what foods that it's prevalent in. I'm pretty sure there's zinc in beef. So I'm probably okay in that regard. But this is something that, you could take it when you're fasting, drop it in water. I just put a few drops in my morning drink, which is what I do basically with this, right? And then the next part I'm about to talk about, which is magnesium. So this is a buffered sea powder. Not necessarily because I think I need the vitamin C that much. It's mostly for the magnesium, and it happens to have calcium, vitamin C, and potassium in it as well. It's flavorless, it's odorless, it's easy to consume, it's a little fizzy. And what I do is I put about a scoop of this in water, and then I put a drop of this, a little bit drop of that, and then I shake some of this in. And since I'm fasting every morning, not eating, I feel good. It's a good way to wake up. And I've been feeling pretty good lately. I think almost all these are optional, depending on what your diet is. And if I were to personally not do anything else, I would still do the omega-3 just because it's freaking amazing. These right here as a morning routine, let's get it so you can see in the camera. So this right here as a morning routine, I think would be awesome. It's actually what I am doing. And so I'm taking this in the morning, and then at night, I'm doing about a half scoop of this before bed, kind of, just to wind down and to make sure I'm getting a little bit more magnesium in there. In fact, this only has 350 milligrams per scoop. Some of the research I've been looking into suggests something like 3 to 5 grams a day. I might need to up my magnesium. So magnesium is, I guess, the final product. I'll talk about this in a second. Over 200 processes in the body it's connected to, very similar to obviously vitamin D. And there's just so many things that it does, probably things we don't even know it does. And unfortunately, because our soils are depleted, our food just isn't as nutrient dense as it used to be. That's my strategy and theory around all of this. Whether it's the iodine, whether it's magnesium, the omega-3 is more just for support for omega-3 because I'm already eating pretty low omega-6, so I probably don't need as much omega-3. In fact, I don't need as much omega-3 as a typical person. I just need to get closer to that 1-to-1. But I also believe there's a lot of benefit to eating omega-3. I don't buy into this idea that it's just not good for you or too much is not good for you, whatever. I think that's kind of like fringe scare tactic, fear-mongering, I want something to talk about type of content, and I don't buy into it at all. So that's how I think about all of these. If I had to rate these, I would say definitely omega-3 on a daily basis, definitely some kind of K2 vitamin D on a regular basis in conjunction with getting outside. I would recommend definitely a magnesium. Vitamin C is something you can experiment with. I don't think it's necessary, but a little bit here and there is not gonna kill you. And on a carnivore diet, that's one of the primary nutrients people are concerned about, so take a little bit here and there, so what? Like, then you don't have to worry about it. Just take a little bit, something like this is perfect. It's got a scoop of vitamin C, magnesium, and it's got some potassium in there. A little bit of calcium too. That is my current supplement stack. And I will say a comment on this. This is cod liver oil, okay? I got this off Amazon. It's King Oscar brand. I couldn't find the ingredients label on the actual container. I think on the Amazon listing it has it, but I'll drop a link below to the Amazon listing as well as all these others. This is what I use to make my seafood pate, which is another way I'm getting a lot of my omega-3 in, as well as all the other nutrients in wild-caught seafood, and cod liver oil being one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. I'm also getting that. You can find that recipe up here. that is my go-to technique. I keep a batch of that in my fridge at all times. My son loves it. He was taking huge scoopfuls yesterday of it, just shoveling it in his mouth. Probably gonna have to keep bigger batches because it goes through so fast. If you were eating something like that on a daily basis, you probably wouldn't need it in the omega-3. What I like about the omega-3 in the supplement form is it's just easy. I can take a swig after a meal, no matter what I eat. It's just simple, easy to down, whatever. This takes a little bit more preparation, but this is gonna be really good, real whole food, real food way to get it. So getting something like wild-caught sardines, as well as cod liver, mixing up a pate, having some lemon and salt and pepper, and maybe some hot sauce or whatever you do on your diet, awesome. So that's how I think about all of these as my current supplement stack. Lots and lots of supplements out there. I think these are some of the most foundational ones. If you're gonna go deeper down the supplement rabbit hole, you just gotta keep in mind that they're not gonna replace whole food. You don't want to try to patch up a poor quality diet with supplements because that's not gonna work. But because our food system and our food quality isn't what it used to be, and it definitely isn't what it was 10,000 plus years ago when our ancestors lived and ate in the wild, these are a way to help you navigate our modern environment and get as much of your checks or ducks in a row as possible. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about anything specifically, maybe something I left out, maybe something I should add, maybe something I should try, and I will definitely answer those. And like and subscribe and share and do all those things. I appreciate the support. I also just launched a Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/ColinStuckert. A link will be below. That's gonna help me invest more into my mission of helping people become aware of these ancestral principles of health, because we are in desperate need of a health revolution. What we're doing today in our modern food and pharma and doctors and all the really bad books and podcasts and articles and other nonsense that's perpetuated by people that like to think they know what they're talking about and that are just trying to maintain their own dogma and maintain their own status quo, either for financial ends or just to feel that they're right and that they know what's going on. We gotta break through that. It's bad. It's really bad. From things like the Game Changers to the ever-growing fake meat impossible burger nonsense. We need to wake people up because it's just gonna be a whole nother rabbit hole, and there's gonna be a whole ton of health consequences and a lot of suffering that can come as a result. So check me out on Patreon if you wanna be part of that movement and help support me, as well as get some awesome bonuses and other things that come along with being a Patreon supporter. I really appreciate that. And at the very least, if you like and subscribe, that helps the YouTube algorithm so that we can reach more people. And I will hopefully see you in the next one. Hey, Colin here. Thanks for watching that video. I got a free PDF for you, The 7 Principles of Living Wild. Short and sweet, not long, not gonna be a novel you have to read or anything, just a simple reference of the things that make you a healthy human. Below, get that right now, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.